Servus, my friends, and welcome back in the Bavarian outback. Today I show you a little survival outdoor whatever craft hack. I show you how you can make out of your cheap, easy, normal hammock a very comfy one. It's very easy, costs you not a cent. You just need your old hammock, you need a metal tube, a stick, whatever, in about this size and as wide as your shoulders. That's all, and I promise you, you will sleep a million times better than before in your hammock. Yeah, that's what it is about. Have fun with this video. So first of all, we'll take a steel rod and then we drill 2 holes in each side, one here and one right next to it, and then we connect these 2 holes with a little slot, and that's how we start with the hammock. You should use at least a 6mm drill, because when you take a smaller one, the hook you will use later is too thin from its material. And that's the way it looks now. You see this slot here, then you take the file and put away all the sharp edges so that you don't harm the material, the textile and the aluminum of your hooks. For the next step, we take apart these little cords here at one end of the hammock. So we just do this on one end. You can do this on both ends, but it's only important to do it on your head side of the hammock. So take this out, take it into parts, and then you have one straight end of your old or cheap hammock. And that's the side or the end we will modify. If this side is much longer than the tube, the stick or whatever you want to use, then you have to modify it a little bit more so that it cannot went around the tube. The next step is finding the middle of the whole thing. So you just take it this way and you easily find the middle, and when you have the middle, then you mark it so that you will find it later. The next step is marking the end of your tube or your stick and marking the positions of the holes we drilled inside of the metal tube on each side. When we are finished with this modification, all this additional material of your hammock will be over the tube in between these 2 holes that we drilled inside. And now we have to prevent all this additional material from sliding around on this tube. So that's the trick from the whole build. In the next step, we stitch on some loops on the left and on the right side where we can fix the metal tube later. As I mentioned before, the 2 loops that we stitch on the hammock have to be inside of these 2 holes that we drilled into the metal tube. So this is point 1 and this is point 2, and that's where we will put the loops on later.
Before we start stitching, I show you two ways to fix the hammock. You can use a snap hook, or you can use the cord I showed you before and put it through this long hole. That's why we made this long hole, and you can fix it just with a bolt. Pull on, and you see you cannot pull it out anymore. That's the easier version when you are outside somewhere and you just have only sticks or something with you. And now we come to my favorite connection. If the weight of the whole thing is not so important, and 10 or 20 grams more doesn't matter for nobody. So I would use these little U-joints because they can carry a lot of weight, and screw them together, and then we have a little hook like this where we can put our cords through, and that's, for my opinion, the best way to install this new hammock setup. For setting up the hammock, you need something new. You need a triangle which has absolutely the same size on both cords. That will make sure that the hammock is straight, and you cannot flip it over, and nobody can flip you outside of your own hammock just for a joke. Another little advice for you: never buy cheap snap hooks. When you buy snap hooks, always check that the writing on it has a weight or a stability something on it. And the most important thing is it should have a security or a safety bolt or hook in the end of the snap, that you can see it will lock the snap hook even when the snap hook gets bent. So never buy cheap snap hooks. Always check that you have something really good that you would climb a hill with it. So now it's time to start with the loops. That's where we place them. So use material you have, so recycle some old cords or whatever, because they don't have to carry a lot of weight. They are just for the stability. Mark them and let's go. And you know, I don't have to tell you that you don't need a sewing machine. You can also make it by hand because it's nothing complicated. It's just a little bit faster. Of course, you can put the loops directly in the snap hook if the snap hook is big enough. So here's the final testing, and as you can see, it's almost impossible to flip the hammock over or to let someone else flip the hammock over with you inside just for a little joke.
That's it for today. I hope you liked the video, and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment and tell me your opinion to this thing, because I really like it. I only sleep in this hammock, and the cool thing is you don't have to carry this stick or this tube around with you when you go into the woods. Just cut it, put it in, wrap it, and then you can use it. So you have the same size in packing like before, and you sleep a million times better. Okay, then see you next time.